Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Well, first tonight, 2 men are on the run after a brazen robbery at a new Norfolk hotel. Police say one man grabbed a large sum of cash from a till. Patrons inside the pub challenged the bandits, who quickly fled the scene.
Just after 9 last night, 2 men entered the new Norfolk hotel. What followed was a distressing ordeal for staff inside.
One of those males had approached the till and removed a substantial amount of cash.
The offender was challenged by a patron. He was pushed aside, luckily without injury. Both men fled the building.
Whilst it was very brave of the patron to approach the male, it's not something that we would encourage or recommend people to do in that situation.
Locals clearly disappointed over the incident at the popular venue.
It's such a nice place. They get the customers in there and they know, what they want and what you want. So, I'm fairly disappointed, really, that it had to happen in such a nice place.
Police say one offender fled on foot through the High Street exit, while a second person left via Stephen Street. They're now appealing for anyone who may have witnessed last night's events to come forward. Both men are described as being in their mid to late 20s. Investigators say they're following a strong line of inquiry.
The person's obviously been desperate for money and has done a very stupid act. And as a result, in the coming hours, if not days at worst, we'll be speaking with that person and no doubt charging them.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmanian News.
Police are warning travellers to mask up after 2 people were fined for flouting the rules at Hobart Airport. As passenger numbers rise, authorities are increasing staff to enforce the growing list of COVID regulations.
Wear a mask or you won't be boarding a plane. That's been the rule in Tassie airports for nearly 2 weeks. But it seems not everyone is listening.
Disappointingly, over the weekend on Saturday, we had a 49-year-old who was travelling from interstate who has failed to wear a mask.
After refusing pleas from police, he was handed a $1,500 fine. 2 days later, another 25-year-old man was also fined $700.
We make no apologies when we do have to issue the infringement notices because we give people every opportunity to cooperate.
The strength of Tasmania's borders was back in the spotlight today at a parliamentary committee. Revealed was a blitz on hiring contract workers for ports and terminals.
Biosecurity Tasmania has appointed an additional 80 border staff to undertake the important role of ensuring the emergency management and public health directions are adhered to.
While the Nurses Union is warning of problems with filling hospital vacancies because of too few applicants.
And that certainly is having an impact on our members' fatigue levels, which do remain quite high, particularly after a really difficult year, and in addition to the workloads that COVID-19 prevention has brought with it.
The Premier was grilled again and again over calls to extend JobSeeker and JobKeeper. He's adamant the economy is in recovery.
Certainly in much better shape than what we'd ever expected to be in when you look back to April or May.
The truth will be in the numbers, expected in a Treasury report to be released later this month. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmanian News.
The Bob Brown Foundation has lost a landmark bid to end native forest logging in Tasmania. The full federal court has dismissed what environmentalists dubbed the Great Forest Case, but protesters say the battle is far from over.
The state government declaring victory. The results of a court battle over logging in Tasmania's native forests handed down.
We won. The forest industry has won. The workers of Tasmania have won. The Bob Brown Foundation has lost.
But that foundation says the war is far from over.
We have not won this case, but it doesn't alter our campaign to save native forests one iota. In fact, it'll embolden us.
The full federal court today dismissing the case, which argued Tasmania's regional forest agreement contradicts federal laws and it doesn't protect native species like the critically endangered swift parrot. The industry has praised the judgment.
And what's been dubbed by the applicant as the Great Forest Case has turned out to be a great day for Tasmanian forestry. I'm now asking the Bob Brown Foundation to respect the umpire's decision to stop the green warfare and the green lawfare.
Bob Brown has pledged to continue. already considering a High Court appeal. The former Greens leader is no stranger to controversy, spearheading protests to stop the damming of the Franklin River in the 1980s.
The Franklin runs free to the sea, and Tasmania's forests will be free of chainsaws before too long.
The Greens demanding changes to the government's logging practices.
The only thing that FT can do is to get out of native forest logging, because that's what's required to protect the swift parrot and other threatened species.
We have the world's highest standards when it comes to protecting endangered species and the environment in general. We have state and federal legislation which is incredibly protective of what is special about our environment.
Historical war not over yet. Meg Sides, 7 Tasmanian News.
Well, today marks the first day back for state school students in Tasmania. It's a new year, yet many of the same challenges from 2020 face them as they walked through the front gates.
The state's 62,000 students dropped off for the first day of the school year. Their memories of the summer now in the rearview mirror.
Going to the beach and, hanging around with all my friends and that.
I went to Swansea and had a sandball fight with my brother. I hit him in the face.
But today's a day many of them had been waiting for.
I was really excited to see all my friends and meet my teacher.
Excitement is the number one thing. They're very keen to share with their friends and their teachers and myself what they've been doing, where they've been travelling.
With 2020 such a rough trip, everyone's hopeful that 2021 might be smoother sailing. School events are back on the cards.
Last year we may not have the athletic carnivals at all, but now we can go ahead as long as we keep within that limit of total people on site and as long as they're physical distancing.
Even if some other precautions remain.
The extra cleaning that we do throughout the day, the physical distancing between adults, the venue density in events like assemblies, internal events.
I think it'll be a little bit normal this year because, last year was kind of getting used to it and this year is just doing it again.
One thing that will remain the same as 2020.
So I want to reinforce the fact, let's be safe around our schools when we're driving, a maximum of 40 kilometres an hour. The 40 kilometres is not a target, it's the maximum.
Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Australian music legend Casey Chambers has been announced as a headline act for the upcoming Basin concert in Launceston's Cataract Gorge. Chambers will be joined by rock royalty Spiderbait and contemporary hitmaker Ballpark Music. A lineup of local artists will also be taking to the stage.
We're looking forward to delivering a really high energy, intense set, which will be nice. Looking at involving some live drums, which will be cool for a first time for my band, which is really exciting.
It's great to have live music back, so nervous to play a gig, but it's going to be awesome.
Around 3,000 people will be allowed to attend next month's show. Final preparations are underway at the trouble-plagued Derwick Racecourse track, just days out from 2 of the year's most important meets. It comes as Hobart Cup entrants learned their starting position fate at the traditional barrier draw.
For 145 years, the Hobart Cup has been run and won at Elwick. This year, that was in doubt. But 6 weeks after races were abandoned due to an unsafe track, the surface has the tick of approval.
It's a big thumbs up. The track's in tip-top condition and trainers and jockeys have given it 10 out of 10. It's going to be in top form for Sunday.
Today, Sunday's Cup entrants learned their fate at the barrier draw. The 15-horse field rated as one of the strongest in recent years. It's a major boost for the racing club, who wants the event status upgraded.
A great deal of it's regarding stakes, and we're working closely with Tas Racing and the government on that front at the moment. Recently there was an increase in stakes, which is pleasing, but we're still keen for more to be done in that area.
Last year's winner Toorak Affair will start its defence from Barrier 5. Marquee runner Mandela Effect drew Barrier 9. The horse has form in Victoria, but connections say success on home turf would be a dream come true.
We've been lucky with Mandela. We've won races at Caulfield and Flemington, but to win our hometown cup is, I'm sure we're all dreaming of it, and if it happens, it'll be something we'll never forget.
WT also returning home in a quest for glory. The gelding starting from Barrier 12.
We bought him here at the Magic Million sales in Launceston. As a 2-year-old, he's in peak condition. We think he's actually the fittest he's been for a long time.
General admission tickets are still available, with the club urging people to pre-purchase. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
A post-mortem of the Hobart Hurricanes season flop is underway. The coach's job is part of the review after missing the finals, with the team described by Cricket Tasmania as the best list it's had. An even split of 7 wins and 7 losses has the Hurricanes hunting for answers. When asked if Adam Griffith is the right coach going forward,
we're going through a process that will uncover that. But look, there's always there's a lot of variables that go into a season, and we probably get a lot better insight into those from the inside than what people might see from the outside.
Griffith still has a year to run on his contract, and Baker hints that will be honoured.
There's no one more determined to win Tasmania's first T20 trophy than Adam Griffith.
Dominic Baker's first full year as Cricket Tasmania boss had enough dramas off-field with COVID, but the Hurricanes missing the finals turned up the heat, especially after putting purple on the world's best T20 batsman, David Malan.
To be frank, I thought we probably had our best list this season. We haven't quite cracked it, so we'll go back and have a look at what we could have done better.
In better news for Tassie cricket, the Sheffield Shield will have some extra star power, with Tim Payne to play after the tour of South Africa was postponed. Although there's no denying Payne would relish the chance to lead the country on Sandpaper Gate's ground zero.
They probably want to go back to South Africa and extinguish a few demons from the last tour.
While at the grassroots level, North Hobart Cricket Club's indoor facility will have a long overdue facelift thanks to the latest round of infrastructure grants.
The facility was built back in the 70s, and if you'd like to have a look inside, some of the original flooring is still there, and I don't think much money's been spent on it.
The NTCA ground, Kettering Oval and Sprayton's Maidstone Park are among 9 recipients. A century to Nicola Carey has guided Tasmania to a 20-run win over the ACT Meteors in the side's first match of the WNCL season. Carey bashed 14 boundaries in a superb knock, reaching 105. She backed up the magnificent performance with the ball taking 3 wickets. Belinda Vakawira and Amy Smith claimed 2 scalps each. The Tigers play South Australia on Friday. The Launceston Tornadoes have signed former WNBL shooting guard Taylor Evans for the NBL1 season. She'll work closely with marquee recruit Keely Froling for what's hoped to be a dangerous, high-scoring combination.
I've known her all up through juniors as well, so knowing she was in the team made the decision a lot easier, and I think we're going to be a strong team.
There is a bit of a history between Taylor and Keely's mums. They both played with Opals together, so they've known each other, not played together before, but they've known each other for a very long time.
Evans has come down from Cairns. Only a handful of spots remain open in the squad, including 1 import yet to be announced.
Good evening. The sun was shining on the weather station at Devonport today. 24 degrees and the warmest around the state. Hobart 19, Launceston 21 and Burnie 20. Temperatures near or just below average. Strawn and Ooze 23, Low Head 22 and King Island 21. Friendly Beaches and Grove 20 and Flinders Island 19. Just some low-level cloud over the northeast, otherwise mostly clear skies over the state today. Bit of high cloud drifting over the middle bit. Plenty of cloud over our east, though with most of the action over the tropics and the far northwest of the country with those troughs and low pressure zones. Tomorrow that low over the northwest of WA is moving slowly, the monsoon trough active over the tropics, and we have a low and cold front developing over the bight. Be with us in a day or two. Winds east to southeasterly at 10 to 20 knots, tending east northeasterly late morning, light and variable winds inland and over the southwest later. Hobart expecting 25 and a few showers tomorrow, Cygnet 26 and 27 for New Norfolk. Launceston a high of 25 with a shower or 2 clearing, a shower for Devonport, 22 the maximum, 26 for Campbelltown with a shower clearing. 22 the temperature for Burnie, a shower there, partly cloudy for Strawn on 24 and for Smithton, 23 tomorrow. 23 the top also for St Helens with a shower in the east, showers clearing from Swansea, and 24 the high for Fingal. UV very high. 10 on the measurement stick for tomorrow. On Friday, rain becoming heavier over the north with a thunderstorm in the mix. Showers again on Saturday with winds strong and gusty over the east. And on Hobart Cup Day, cloudy and 20 in Hobart, down to just a 30% chance of a shower. A shower though over the west and far south. Sunny and 30 in Perth. Showers developing in Adelaide, cloudy and warm in Melbourne. A shower forecast for Canberra, but sunny in Sydney, both on 29 degrees. A possible shower for Brisbane. Partly cloudy at the moment, 17 in Hobart, Launceston 19, Devonport, a bit of sun about and 18 degrees. A bit of rain on the way in for tomorrow. A day, what do you call it? Frizzy hair day.
It will be on Friday, and the same problem for you too, all that fluff on your head. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. Thanks for your company. Good night.